Anybody remember this beautiful thing from 20 years ago? Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, then welcome to the channel. Today's video is going to be an interesting one for me anyway. Hopefully it will be for you too. But before I do, I need you to do one thing for me, and that is smash that subscribe button, hit the like, flick my ding dong, and you will be notified whenever I put up a video, which is quite a lot actually. And you know what? This is the greatest guitar channel on YouTube. Actually, no, it's not, but it's still a cool place to be, so why wouldn't you? Now, anybody that's been playing guitar for any length of time, or for as long as I have, which is about 30 odd years or so, knows what one of these is. If you don't know what one of these is, and you've been playing guitar for that long, then what's the matter with you? You should know what one of these are. These came out, like I said, 20 years ago, and they revolutionized amp modeling. I still use this today in my studio. It is a great piece of kit. But I am not going to take you through a step-by-step what all the tones are and things like that. If you want to see some really good videos on all of that, then you need to go and check out CGS's channel. Mike, he did a very good, done a series of very good videos on the pod and all its tones and stuff like that. I will leave links in the description for that. My interest in the pod is, can I take it to a gig and just use the pod and get as good a sound as I normally get out of my amp. And the reason for that is my current rig is great for my blues band, but for my function band that I play in, I need more headroom. And playing with this and watching CGS's videos on this, I'm thinking, do you know what? It might be all I need. So I'm going to do an experiment, and I'm going to push this through my amp and with my pedal board, and I'm also going to push it through my PA, and we'll compare the sounds. A lot of people that have these don't have the box. I am fortunate I do have the box, and I have the instruction manuals too. So let's open the box. Pod's not in there. That's because it's over there. But don't worry, it is still here. What came with it was one of these card things, which tells you all the settings that it does, which is really handy. And on this side, there's a blank, obviously not been used, where you can jot down all your favourite settings that you discover. Yeah. Here is the manual. I'm hoping it's in lots of different languages, because that is some manual. Yes, it's in different languages. Thank goodness. Oh, and it gives you all the setup instructions, of course, and then it gives you little pictures of all the amps that it's modelling. Small tweed, brick blues, brick classic, they're Marshalls. Yeah, it's very cool. And we've got some Mesa Boogie on there and stuffs. So what I'm interested in, going back to this thing, is I want a good, clean, lots of headroom, kind of valvey kind of sound. So I saw on here that it's got a Dumble Overdrive Special clean channel, which is there. I don't know if you can see it or not, but it is on the amp models. It's going to be 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Number 29. So I'm going to go set that up and push it through my little 5-watt amp, and we'll compare sounds. Here's the most beautiful kidney bean you'll ever see in your life. In order to get the Dumble Overdrive, it's on this one where it says Brit High Gain, but you have to hold down the tap button, which is hard to do with one hand. Hold down the tap button and then move it into position like so. As per normal, I'm using my Harley Benton Telecaster kit, guitar with Jigsby and Barksbury pickup. You can see a video on that here. Okay, so this is just the amp. This is just my amp, which is a great tone. put the pod on, so this is the dumble sound going into my amp. One thing you must do is switch this switch at the back to amp mode if you're going to push it through a guitar amp. That sounds real nice. I really like the really crystally kind of valveness that gave the amp. The amp's nice on its own, but pushing that through it was real nice. This is my PA. This is a Yamaha Stage Par 400i. I use this for most of my gigs. Actually, I use it for all my gigs where I'm doing the PA. So I'm going to put the kidney bean, the Pod 2.0, into a clean channel and see what it sounds like. See what it sounds like. Hear what it sounds like. Yeah, hear what it sounds like. So I've got it flat EQ'd, line in. Let's go. I've moved the switch from amp mode to AIR direct mode. Let's see what it sounds like if I switch it back to amp mode. Both different sounds. But I suppose it is an amp, so maybe it would be on amp. I don't know. They're both different. One's a bit more toppy, the other one's a bit smoother. If I whack a bit of drive up on this pod. It's quite nice. It's not the same sound as going through the valve amp. It sounds nicer through easy if you say. It sounds nicer through my valve amp, but it's still quite good. Okay, so I've added a bit of compression and a bit of delay. I can live with that. It sounds really nice. As a guitar sound, a clean sound, I'm really liking it. I think for the function band, it could be exactly what I need without having to lug an amp around or having to worry about taking a bigger amp. So, next question is, what does it sound like with my pedal board? Because this one doesn't have the ability to have a floorboard with it. So what do my pedals sound like through it? Let's find out. Yeah, this is my usual pedal board. So what we got on here, we got a T-Spark line booster, Jim Dunlop wah, got a noise reducer tuner, Ibanez TS9, a Bayang TS9 clone, and a Bayang delay. So guitar's going into that, which is going into the pod, which is going into the PA. So this is just the T-Spark. Whack on the Ibanez TS9. The other TS9. wow, pretty good sound, I think. Not quite as good as going through the amp, but nearly as good, and I think I could live with that for the function band stuff, where I need to have that really nice clean kind of valvey sound and not have to worry about volume, not have to worry about miking up the amp, etc. As long as I can have a decent mix back in the monitor, I think that could be a winner chicken dinner. One last thing to try out, and that is using the pod into the amp with my pedal board. So this is just the T-Spark off the board, same as before, dumble setting on the pod, a little bit of compression as well. I've had compression on the whole time. TS9. The other TS9. Okay, so in conclusion, my favourite sound is my pedal board going into the pod on the dumble setting. Bit of compression. It just sounds really full, and you can hear all the tops and the middles, and it's beautiful. So I think from now on, for the blues band stuff, I'm going to run the pod in between my board and my amp. It also gives me access to a whole tone stack and all the other effects on there if I want to use them. So I could really have a lot of fun with that. For the function band stuff, I'm going to try it out at the next gig, which will be next week, with the pod going into the PA and having a monitor mix back, and see if that helps with our volume issue and the headroom issue and stuff like that. Obviously, I can do both. I can, because it's got a stereo output on the back of the pod, so I can run one into the amp and another one out to the PA. So that's another option I could do as well. More good news, and that is you can pick these up for like £30, and it's just a wonderful piece of kit. I use it in the studio all the time. I've used it on recordings, on records and stuff like that. It is a really good bit of kit and doesn't cost hardly anything anymore. So you should go get yourself one, really. So a really inexpensive way to get access to a lot of effects, a lot of good effects as well, and some amp models and stuff like that. This thing is capable of so much more. Like I said, go and check out CGS. He's done a whole series of videos on this, and he walks through all the tones and everything. It's really good, so if you want to go and check that out, I would really appreciate it. I'm sure he would too. If you found this video interesting and entertaining and all that stuff, then don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Helps me out in a big way. Only one thing left to say, and that is peace. Till next time, cue the jingle. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you like my YouTube show, hit like and comment and get involved. If you dig my vibe, then hit subscribe and never miss an episode of my YouTube show. Peace. Till next time.